World Show. We are the Healing Institute, and this podcast is brought to you by the Healing Institute. We are a hub of virtual and global holistic practitioners, and we are out to heal the world. So, this podcast is talking to our practitioners that we have on the site. And also, we wanted you to know that the November theme is overcoming anxiety. So I want to welcome my guest, Gina Frondorfer from South Africa. That's so cool to have you here. And the work that Gina does, we're going to talk about that today. And we're also going to talk about the work that I do as a practitioner and how that helps our clients overcome anxiety. So I just wanted to let anybody who hasn't actually popped on the show before let you know that we are out to heal the world. We are a platform of holistic practitioners. We definitely want to have we want to help people. We want to give people hope that there is a way for them to be healthy and stay healthy on their health journey, because we're all on a health journey. So that is the reason for having this podcast and talking about how people can stay well and be well. So just a little bit of background. We've been doing this now since the middle of July, and we have had some amazing guests talking about their modalities and how they help their clients. And so today, yes, we're going to be talking about overcoming anxiety. And so Gina's going to talk about some of the modalities that she works with and her clients and the results they get. And I will also talk about some of my clients and the results they get with the modalities that I work with. So why is this important? Well, it's important to me because I called the Healing Institute an institute because I'm really passionate about educating people about how they can be well and stay well. And, you know, since the last couple of years that we've had to actually completely do a paradigm shift around our health, in one way, I certainly believe it's been a good thing because we are taking more responsibility for our health. We've kind of been, over the last, I'd say 20, 40 years, kind of been lulled into the idea that if we had something not quite going right with our health, we would go to the doctor and the doctor would fix us or give us something that would make us healthy. And that isn't really what's happening. Certainly not happening in North America where I live, and the people that I talk to all over the world, it's really not happening as much as certainly we have been led to believe. So I've used holistic ways of being well and staying well personally myself for over 20 years. And really, it's the only way to go, because what I love about the practitioners that are part of the Healing Institute is that we look for the root cause. So what is causing that anxiety? What is causing the stress? What is causing the fact you can't sleep? What is causing the fact that you have pain? Where is it? We're not just looking at a symptom. We're actually dealing with and researching and finding what the root cause is. And that's what I just am so excited about having someone like Gina be part of our interview today and talk about that. So let's do that. Gina, pop in and say hello. Tell us a little bit about you and some of the modalities you work with.
Great, thanks. And thanks very much for giving me this opportunity. Hi, everybody. I'm from South Africa. I'm sure you can hear that from my accent. I'm what you call a bioenergetic feedback therapist. And that sounds like a mouthful, so I'm just going to give it to you in a nutshell. Each person has a unique energy code, and I utilize that to be able to help you to detect imbalances, stresses, and vulnerabilities. And through a magic device, which I call my magic box, which is actually the life machine, there are many frequencies programmed there to restore those vulnerabilities, imbalances, and susceptibilities. I have found that specifically since COVID and during COVID, anxiety is huge. And it's not just with young people, it's right across the board. And so I use my life machine and do the bioenergetic feedback balancing with people, specifically for anxiety, but not always just for that. But I have had some really great results. I had a youngster who actually had such bad anxiety that she was battling to get up and go to school. And believe it or not, she was in America. I'm in South Africa, and I can see people's minds going, "Whoa, how does that work?" Well, think about it like this. If you think about a mobile phone, your number is your number. It's unique. And as long as I have your number and you have roaming, I can contact you wherever you are in the world, from wherever I am in the world. So your energy code works the same way. And so as long as I have the person's permission, I have their details, in other words, their name, date, time, place of birth, I program that into the machine, and I then run a reactivity test which can pick up those stresses, imbalances, and vulnerabilities. So with this particular person, I did that, and we worked on the anxiety issues that she had. I'm very happy to say that she's no longer a client. So she's doing great. In fact, she's just got married. So she's no longer 16, and she's doing really, really well. So a lot of the times, the root cause of any dis-ease in the body comes from anxiety and those kind of things. And what's unique and quite amazing about the bioenergetic feedback is running the reactivity test. If you imagine, it's like a virus scan for your body, but not really viruses, but for imbalances, stresses, and susceptibilities. And through that, we can just rectify energetically the things that aren't really working for you before they manifest into something more serious.
I love that. And I just love to let people know about the energy and how the energy works, because I work with energy as well. So energy works everywhere because we are actually, there's a vibrational grid throughout the world. And so it's just so remarkable to now realize how well we can work across the globe and assist people to be healed. So I'm going to take a quick hello to Cindy DeJogger. She's actually here on Vancouver Island, where I live in Canada. And welcome, Cindy. Glad to see you here. Marie Piplovic, which is another one of our holistic practitioners on the hub, has said, "Hi, ladies." So Marie's a devoted practitioner. She's on every Friday's call. Ingrid McKnight says, "Good morning from Sylvan Lake, Alberta," which is also in Canada, is on the prairie. So it's the next province over from us, Alberta, to British Columbia. And Ingrid is our virtual assistant, our admin support. And honestly, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without her. So welcome all of you who have popped in to talk to us today. This is really, really lovely and amazing. So just briefly, I wanted to let people know, even though that I am the founder and the CEO of the Healing Institute, I'm also a practitioner, and I do body code and motion code work. So what is that? Really, what does that mean? So it's a protocol that was created by a doctor in the United States. His name is Dr. Bradley Nelson. So you can definitely Google him and find out a little bit more. And he created these protocols that we use, were certified by him, and it's looking at emotions. He calls them trapped emotions. These emotions could be stuck in our subconscious. Now, that's another new way of looking at things and learning and being educated. We've always been told that the conscious brain runs the show. Well, that's not true, because our conscious brain is only really 5 to 10% of what's going on. It's our subconscious, which is the rest, which is 90 to 95%. And that's where these emotions, these worries, these can get put in or get stuck in the subconscious. So the protocol that I use is identifying what these emotions are and releasing them out of the subconscious. So just as what Gina was saying about we want to release what we can release so that the dis-ease, or which turns into diseases, we don't want that to happen. And we're certainly learning that by being, anxious, by being stressed out, which is just almost everyday living can do that. That is creating some havoc in the subconscious and in our bodies. So we want to keep our bodies as healthy as possible. And so the protocols that Gina was talking about and the protocols that I do definitely help our clients to release that anxiety. So I'll give you a short little description about one of my clients and how it helped. And so this person was just really they were just feeling so anxious about everything that was going on in their life. They did have some health challenges as well, some physical health challenges, and she just didn't understand exactly why these health challenges were combining with this anxiety that were really almost making her not be able to function at all. So we found we released some trapped emotions like rejection and vulnerability, some trapped emotions of dread, things she was dreading to do. And I'm just pulling out my chart here that we use when I do the session. So things like sadness, being sad. There was, and we can find out when we do the session. We just muscle test and find out not only what the trapped emotion is, but also when it happened. So that's all some very interesting, because if we have a specific age that it happened, then you may remember the event or the incident. You don't have to, but it does help to kind of identify why that emotion got trapped at that time. So once we released those, then her anxiety was reduced. We did a couple more sessions to actually release it completely, because each session that you do runs anywhere from 45 minutes to 60 minutes, and you can only release so many trapped emotions within that session. So I have packages of 3 sessions and 5 sessions. So that's why she purchased a 3-session package, so that we could actually get right to that root cause over those 3 sessions. Do you have packages like that, Gina?
So each client is unique, and it depends on what they're going through and what their goals are. But already I offer really good value for money. Mm-hmm. My packages, my prices are really competitive, and most of the time I do actually spend a bit longer with my client than the said time that they're paying for, because that's just how I work. I like to make sure that they feel comfortable at the end of it, that they understand everything. And that also gives me more of an insight as to where they are. So yes, I do and can offer packages, but generally what I normally do is, if someone is interested or they want to learn more about it, I'll do a free info session with them. Mm-hmm. And discuss it, find out where they're at, what they want to do, sort of what things are bothering them, explain to them how it works, how I see it going, and then we kind of tailor make these sessions together in that info session.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because I want people to know that when you go to the Healing Institute website and find your practitioner that you're looking for, you can just search in the search bar an issue. So anxiety, for example, Gina's profile will pop up, my profile will pop up, Marie's profile will pop up, and a couple more. And then you can go to, everyone's has a complimentary session of some kind. So we do that as well, on all of the practitioners, because we want to have that conversation with you. We don't want just to think, okay, well, and that was one of the reasons I designed the website that way. I didn't want clients coming to the website and having to make a financial decision right away. And this is wellness we're talking about. This is our self-esteem. This is our all wellness, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual wellness. So you have to have a conversation about how it's going to work. And even though I was saying earlier that my sessions are 45 minutes to an hour, I've often, it's not finite. It kind of depends what's coming up as to how long it's going to be. And oftentimes they can run another half hour or an hour, just depends on what's happening. So that's what I really love about the practitioners that we have on the Healing Institute website and hub, is because that's what we all care about our clients. We're all really heart-centered, and we're a community. So if a client comes to me and I'm like, oh my goodness, this client could really benefit from what Gina offers, then I would promote Gina, obviously, or any of the other practitioners. So as a community of practitioners, we want to give the best to our clients as a whole. For the client, it's great because it's one-stop shopping. They can just come to the hub and find all the practitioners and all the modalities. And at this point in time, just so people are understanding, we have 8 practitioners representing 4 countries, and between us, we all have about 25 to 30 modalities, because we have more than one, usually, a modality. So yes, so that was, I'm just going to see if there's anything more in the chat. No, not at the moment. Yes. Any other, another client result that you can think of that you can offer, Gina?
One of my current clients, she is also in the States. I can't think of where right now. I think Virginia. And she had a terrible time during COVID. She had COVID, I think, 3 times, and she has had some other ailments, from long COVID, and that have kind of come up since that. So she hasn't really been able to work, which has been really difficult for her. And with that, she's obviously had all of the anxiety related to financial, obviously to her wellness, and is she ever going to feel normal again? So I've been working with her for, I think it's almost a year already. We do every second week together. Mm-hmm. I do my calls with my clients, since I'm in South Africa, over a Zoom call, so we can see each other. Mm-hmm. We can chat. But obviously, we'll find another method if that doesn't work for whoever my client might be. But so far, it's working great. So yeah, I've really been working with her nicely. She has got over that anxiety and recently just started a new job. So
fabulous.
It makes me so happy, when my clients are feeling better and when they can share with me that they have made these changes or are improving in the things that they're doing. Even her health is getting better. And often we sit and we talk about some of the challenges that she faces. I might give some coaching advice in terms of some good meditations to help with balancing certain energy centers, obviously, because that is part of what I offer. And yeah, I've had some amazing results with her. So that's just another client of mine. It's funny, they all are in the States. I
think it's wonderful.
It is, right?
And Zoom, who would have known 3 years ago that Zoom would be so popular? But exactly. The same thing. I have in-person clients that come to see me in my home office if they live close, or even some that live on the mainland, because I'm on Vancouver Island, and so some people that live in Vancouver area, and they are then popping over coming to the island for some reason, they'll book an appointment with me in person. But the majority of my sessions that I do with clients are over Zoom or over the phone. Yeah. So I have a couple of clients that just want to talk. They just want to do their session over the phone. They don't necessarily want to do a Zoom, and they've been long-term clients. So it's one of those clients who lives here in my small city where I live, but she's a senior and it's hard for her to get out. And then the other client that we do consistently phone sessions lives in Alberta, and she actually purchases my 5 sessions package. And then we just do them once a month. So I've been working with her since 2018. And now she calls it her maintenance. So once a month, just to kind of keep things, whatever's come up that month, to keep things smooth. And so she's not feeling anxious, because she's another person who had been feeling very anxious about many things. And I think it's really important for us to talk about as well is, yes, I mean, when we first, when everything was shut down in 2020, we didn't really know what was going on or what was happening. I mean, we knew this was a terrible virus. And all our countries were trying to keep us safe. And then we think gradually, I would say 2022-ish, we're starting to kind of be back to normal, if you can call it that. But there's still a lot of anxiety. People are, as you mentioned, your client, they're experiencing this long COVID. I have another client who does live on the mainland. We just did a session over Zoom yesterday, but she has a sister that lives here on the island, so she prefers to do her sessions in person, and she's had long COVID for like a year. So we don't, this virus has affected so many people in different ways. And so it's so important, I believe, for us to look at how we can be well and how we can stay well. Marie had a quick suggestion here, or comment, that this also happens with her. It's important for the client to feel complete and have time to process before ending her sessions. And Marie's our conscious breathing facilitator. And so, yes, it's very important and that again, I want to just, say how important that is for people who don't know what we do, is that it's not okay, your 30-minute session's over, your 45-minute session's over, your 60-minute session's over, that's it, there's the door. We actually work with our clients for as long as we need to during each session that we have with them. So we're really heart-centered around being everything that we can be for our client.
Absolutely. If I may, what I actually offer my clients is, if they're open to be on WhatsApp or one of the communication avenues that it works for both of us, I'm there should they have questions after their session that may come up.
Yes.
And obviously they are welcome to contact me, bearing in mind there is a bit of a time difference, so I will answer them when I am awake. And I coach them in terms of what they might be feeling after their session, especially if we've worked on their emotions, because there is a specific program just for emotions. And then also offer some other tools that might work for them in that or on that forum. So it's like Camelia is saying, I think most of us are not just there for you on the actual call or during the actual session. I avail myself to my clients, who eventually almost become friends, because we spend so much time together and discussing things that obviously they may be frightened to talk about to friends or family members, because
or partners. Yeah,
there is such a stigma about feeling anxious and that kind of thing. And it's really, I think we just need to normalize it. Everyone feels it at some stage. So that is something that I do in my way of working with my clients.
Oh, I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because that's really important for clients to know, potential clients as well, how we do our follow-up and how we're still there for them even after we've had that session with them. I do the same thing. I have notes. I keep notes. I send them an email with all the notes that we've discussed, and I always have at the bottom of the email that, to contact me for any questions that pop up, which of course I tell them during the session as well. I say, it's not a one and done. I'm here for you. So anything that comes up in a couple of days or a week's time, or even a couple of weeks time, if, when I have clients, when they've booked a few sessions, I usually do them about a week apart. Sometimes they want, their preference is to do 2 weeks apart or 3 weeks apart. So there could be still things that might come up before the next session. So it's really important for them to know that that I'm there for them, just like you're there for them if anything comes up. I think that's brilliant, especially through the WhatsApp, which is so it's not your phone plan that you're actually spending roaming time and money on. So it's a free communication device. So that's very brilliant to be able to let people know that they can contact you that way. Marie's got another comment here. We're dedicated to making a difference with our clients. And when our clients transform, we also transform. That is so true. Everybody benefits. Absolutely. All
Or
right.
you can actually say when people are feeling well, the vibration, your energetic vibration is higher. And I mean, universally, that's what we want. We want everybody to be vibrating at their highest energetic vibration, because that's automatically going to make people feel good and raise everybody's feeling good.
And yeah, it's my teacher that I studied under for 8 years. She always said, we each raise our own individual vibration, we're raising the vibration of the world. And I think we all believe and know that's why we have the Heal the World show. It's so important now. It's always been important, but I think we're even more consciously aware over the last 3 years, and now going into all the world events that are happening, the tragic world events that have been happening, how that's so important for the vibration of the world to be raised. Ingrid's got a comment. That's really great to know that folks can reach out after the sessions. Wellness is a journey, and it's reassuring to know it doesn't have to be traveled alone. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. We're here for our clients and for each other, so that we have a community of holistic ways of being well and staying well. So yes, thank you so much, Gina, for being part of our conversation today. I think I mentioned earlier, but I'll say it again, that the theme for November was overcoming anxiety. We're having a theme every month. So October was about sleep issues. November is about anxiety, overcoming it. And then December is about stress, because we get very much stressed over the holidays for all different kinds of reasons. So we've got a really great lineup of practitioners for this interview, for this podcast coming up in December. So we have a big ask. We are asking you to let people know that the Healing Institute exists. Our commitment is to heal the world, and that's a big job, but we all are up for it, and we definitely want to be part of the community to help that happen. And we've met another fabulous practitioner from the Healing Institute today, Gina Frondorfer. I think I said it right. From South Africa. Thank you so much for being part of this, Gina. And any last words that you would like to say?
I'll just say again, thank you so much for having me. It's always great doing these things with you, especially if we are able to help our fellow people out there. And yeah, my little slogan is putting the we into wellness.
Oh, so I like that.
Not on your own. I'm walking there next to you all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. And so we will go through the chat afterwards. There'll be a replay that I'll send out later today. And we do get a lot of people that actually watch the replay. So we'll go back in through the chat over the next today, and then maybe the next couple of days, just to make sure that we answer any questions and acknowledge your comments. So thank you, everybody, for being part of our Heal the World show today.